in Satsang for the next 10 minutes or so, we'd like to invite you to just close your eyes as the music plays, relax, rest in the presence, and hold space.
Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Shankam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Namo Namaha Gam
Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome to our weekly online Satsang. Satsang being a Sanskrit word that means community of truth. A looser translation would be spiritual community. Wherever you have two or more people on the path of awakening, union with the divine, transformation into higher states of consciousness, you have a satsang. And we multiply one another's strength when we come together. Our inner silence is pooled. Meditation becomes deeper. And it's an essential ingredient of the spiritual journey for all of us. So we're glad you're here. If you can, it's important to find a community that you resonate with locally, close to you, where you can join together with others and meditate, pray for one another, bless one another, share your insights, your breakthroughs, your challenges and struggles. And we really don't grow beyond a certain point until we begin to share our journey collectively. So that's what we do here, and it makes it possible for those of us that maybe don't have a local community, and even if we do, to connect with others around the world across all kinds of boundaries. One of the gifts of the internet is that we're able to use it for such a positive purpose. So we're so glad you're here, because it is essential that as many people awaken into oneness as quickly as possible throughout the world. When we all come together and awaken in oneness, the condition of the world as it is now will change radically. The civilization we're participating in now is rooted in competition, conflict, and violence. It's been that way for all of human recorded history. When enough of us awaken individually, the collective consciousness will tip and shift into a new civilization, a new human global civilization rooted in cooperation instead of competition, harmony instead of conflict, and peace instead of war and violence. That's what we need: cooperation, harmony, and peace. That can only happen through awakening of the heart into higher states of connectedness and consciousness. It's been tried for countless thousands of years. Humanity has tried to overcome this pattern of competition and conflict and violence through philosophical movements, religious movements, political movements. None of these things can achieve the change we're talking about. It requires a change of heart. And then we'll look into each other's eyes and we won't be afraid of each other, because we'll see ourselves looking back at us through the other's eyes. And we would never hurt ourselves. I know you'd never hurt me because you are me. And the world will change. We see, and many of the great mystics through all time have seen a day that's coming where humanity collectively shifts into a new golden age, a new age of light. Some call it the kingdom of God. We feel that we're very close. We're obviously not there when we look at the world around us. There's still so much conflict and so much violence and so much mistrust and hatred, and that needs to be healed. And it happens one person at a time as each of us awakens into the oneness of all that is. There's one heart, one love, and one consciousness that has given expression to this universe and is expressing itself through each and every one of us. There's just one consciousness and one love. But we all feel separate as individuals, and that's not reality. When the veil melts and the scales fall from our eyes, our vision is open to see reality as it is, that everything is one. Everything is an expression of that one love, that one spirit, that one light. So that's what these satsangs are about. And to assist that, we share something called the Flowering Heart Blessing, which is a direct transmission of divine light, love, enlightened consciousness. It comes directly from Source, and when it's received, it catalyzes the process of awakening within. If we're already in the process of awakening, the Flowering Heart blessing will melt obstacles and blocks and smooth and hasten the journey. If you're already an awakened being, it will take you deeper because it's a never-ending journey, not a destination. So this was something the Divine shared with us over 9 years ago. It said, give it away. It's free. It's my gift. It's not yours. The Divine's made it clear to us. It belongs to the Divine. The Divine is giving it to us as a gift of grace. So we don't charge for it. And we were also inspired and shown to let people know that when you receive the Flowering Heart blessing, you're initiated immediately to be able to share it with others. Well, you're soaking in it right now. We're all soaking in it. And if you connect to this energy, this presence, just invite the Divine to pour it through you and join us by sending the blessing by intention to all who join us tonight and all who will view this recorded satsang over the next week, the next month, in the years ahead. Many, many times more people watch these broadcasts in the week that follows when we actually make them because of their schedules and their time zones. People join us from all over the world, other countries and other continents, and you are very welcome. Everyone is welcome. It's truly interfaith, and the people that come together in the Flowering Heart satsang comprise all different faiths: Buddhist, Hindu, Taoist, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, pagan. Pagan. I like to throw a bunch of them out there because sometimes people go, oh yeah, but I'm a pagan. Or, oh yeah, but they said Christian. Or, oh yeah, but I'm a Christian. So, no, here, all of us whose hearts are open to the one divine source come together freely. So, glad you're here. Please join us when you invite the Divine to pour the blessing through you. You don't need to know what you're doing. Just hold that intention because the Divine does it all. We're just instruments of grace. If you want to know more about it, go to our website, floweringheart.org. There's a 36-minute video that explains more about the blessing and has a guided initiation meditation. So if you don't have a blessing group where you're sharing direct transmissions of divine energy and consciousness, take that video. You can just invite one friend or 10 friends and just hit play on your laptop or your desktop. And in 36 minutes later, you'll have people ready, really, and filled with grace, ready to share blessings with each other. And I think we feel it's very beneficial and important to have a local community where you can join together for prayer and meditation, but also to share the blessing of divine grace. And when you do it together in the same geographical location, it can be through the laying on of hands. When we do it this way, it's by intention at a distance. And all these are different ways that blessing is communicated. In fact, this coming Sunday is our monthly communion, interfaith communion with the cosmic Christ. More and more people relate to the heart path and the cosmic Christ, maybe not the religion. This is an opportunity to experience and connect with others in the presence of the cosmic Christ. The theme this coming Sunday, it's 11 a.m. Eastern Time, U.S., and the theme is going to be Sacred Touch, the laying on of hands, which connects to everything we've been talking about. The power of sacred touch is just amazing. It's wonderful when the Divine connects with us spiritually and etherically, when the Divine actually connects with us physically, usually through the sacred touch of another being who's serving as a channel of grace. produces tremendous healing and transformation in us. So join us on Sunday. It'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. It'll stay up on Facebook and at Vimeo. You can also watch it there. And there you have it. If you're here now, please give us a like or a love if you're on Facebook Live. If you're on Vimeo, you can enter your name in the chat and just say, hi, I was here. And we go in and look afterwards and send blessing and hugs to all the names that we see of people that have dropped in to these gatherings. What else?
I think that's it.
I think that pretty well covers it, doesn't it? Okay. Well, no, that's really it. And I really encourage you if you can join us on Sunday. Also, the last one from a month ago is up if you want to get some sample of what that's like. But people of all faiths join us, just like in these satsangs, and experience every aspect of the divine has a distinct flavor, which some of us recognize when there's the presence of the cosmic Christ, that divine aspect that has existed forever and will always exist, which is pure love. It's the God within. In India, they call it the Paramatma. It has a certain taste, a flavor, a vibration that when you come to know that aspect of the divine, you can recognize it. The divine feminine has a particular vibration. If Shiva pops in, that's a whole different deal. Oh, I remember now. February 1st and 2nd. We're doing the first in-house here at Flowering Heart Center, the first in-person, in-house retreat in a year and a half. And it's called the Diamond Heart Quantum Liberation Retreat or process. We mean just what it says. We're going to activate the light body, the diamond body. It goes by different names in different traditions. The Merkaba in Taoism, it was coined the light body. In Tibetan Buddhism, it's the lightning or the diamond vehicle. Vajrayana means diamond vehicle. It's one of the three great schools of Buddhism. And so whether it's Vajrayana, the diamond vehicle, or the diamond heart, or the light body, we're going to activate that spiritual heart and infuse it with as much light as we're able to transmit and contain. We're going to do it over 2 days with a number of processes culminating in the Diamond Heart Blessing Circle, which is indescribably delicious. You may have experienced various forms of blessing. This particular process is amazing. So if you can, we only do this in person because it is so intense. We want to be able to work with you directly, eyeball to eyeball, touch. And right here at Flowering Heart Center in Clearwater, Florida, there's still room for you February 1st and 2nd, which is a Saturday and a Sunday. And there's more information on our website, again, floweringheart.org. Please join us if you can. That would be just so delightful. Now, I think that was it.
Yeah. Questions?
So, yeah, Robert Reister, it is a glorious day. Every day is glorious, in fact, and we love you too. So we like to open it to questions and answers at this point on the spiritual journey. Whatever you might like, more light, more clarity about the spiritual process of journeying back into oneness with the divine. That's the whole journey of life. We came forth from Source, we journey through this amazing roller coaster and kaleidoscopic journey we call life, and at the other end, we come right back to the Source again. In between, there's a lot that goes on. maybe you'd like to know more. Something you're experiencing in your meditation or prayer practice, something you might not like, something you might like to know about life before this incarnation, life after this incarnation, anything really. We entertain whatever questions you might have. And to give you a little time to think about that, ask that still small voice inside, is there something I might throw out there that would catalyze the discussion? Because even though we're all unique and our journeys are different, somehow they parallel. And over time, we all encounter similar obstacles and hurdles and challenges, and your questions will nourish everyone in the satsang. So thank you for asking that voice in your heart. Is there something in here I might like to know more about or get some more clarity in? In the meantime, I like to read some quotes from inspiringquotes.com. It's a website where a group of authors, really, from different walks of life in different parts of the world, write these timely, brief 2 or 3 paragraph articles and then share quotes from very inspired people throughout history that shed light on those topics. Tonight's subject is 13 quotes to remember your worth. And this is by one of our favorites, Paula Bennett. Paula Bennett is based in Brooklyn, New York. She writes a fortnightly newsletter that treasures the mundane, called Small Histories. Find her on Instagram at Paula Bennett, Paula Bennet. And again, thank you, Paula. And let's see what she has to say about remembering your worth. Our lives take shape according to how we interact with other people, from our family and friends to coworkers and even strangers. By building a mutual channel of kindness and support, we can make a difference and develop fulfilling relationships that not only enrich our existence, but also help to sustain it. In fact, according to one 85-year-old Harvard study, positive relationships are the biggest key to a happy life. I'm just going to interject. We got these mugs a few years back that say, "It's never too late to live happily ever after," with a picture of us at our wedding. So this study 85 years ago at Harvard showed that positive relationships are the biggest key to a happy life. And it's never too late to begin. And other research indicates that strong social support may even help us live longer. Sometimes, though, we may feel like we're giving someone or something, a friendship, a job, a project, a lot of our time or energy without getting the same back. In those situations, how can we start to rebalance the scales? The right question is always the important thing. First and foremost, we need to find the courage to ask for what we feel is lacking. Whether it's a raise at work or more consistent communication with a loved one. After all, we each deserve to be heard and seen. It may also be helpful to build our own confidence. Looking inward and being able to validate ourselves rather than looking to other people for their opinions means we'll always have a solid foundation. With that in mind, here are 13 quotes about self-belief and speaking up to remind you that you're always enough, whether other people see it or not. Here we go. Don't forget, a person's greatest emotional need is to feel appreciated. H. Jackson Brown Jr. I will go on adventuring, changing, opening my mind and my eyes, refusing to be stamped and stereotyped, The thing is to free oneself, to let it find its dimensions, not be impeded. Virginia Woolf. I lost myself when I learned how to please. Glennon Doyle. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. Confucius. You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Maya Angelou. Sometimes you don't see the millions of people who accept you for what you are. All you notice is the person who doesn't. Jodi Picoult. Knowing how to be solitary is central to the art of loving. When we can be alone, we can be with others without using them as a means of escape. Bell Hooks. Public opinion is a weak tyrant compared with our own private opinion. Henry David Thoreau. When we don't ask for what we want and need, we discount ourselves. Melody Beattie. You have no control over other people's taste, so focus on staying true to your own. Tim Gunn. Confidence is not they will like me. Confidence instead is I'll be fine if they don't. Christina Grimmie. And you will find you have fallen in love with your own vision, which you may never have realized you had. And you will lose some friends and lovers and realize you don't miss them. And new ones will find you and cherish you. Audre Lorde. You are a very special person. There is only one like you in the whole world. There's never been anyone exactly like you before, and there never will be again. Fred Rogers. Nice, huh?
Very nice.
You know, it said at the beginning that that's the major key to happiness in life is good relationships. It may even enable you to live longer. I've been well aware that it's only been the people who have loved me and embraced me for who I am, especially this crazy woman here. I truly believe it's the only reason I'm still alive today and plan to live a whole lot longer. So let's see, what do we got here? Ekaterina, hello, says how to be in this world and fulfill mundane wishes and also be in the kingdom of God. Well, Christ put it in one statement that might not be understood without some thought. He said, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things which are God's. He said, you're in this world, but not of this world. So it's as if we have 1 foot in the kingdom of God and 1 foot in the kingdom of this world, which is still in transition. It has not yet become the manifest kingdom of God. I mean, Christ, when he came out of the desert after 40 days of fasting, first thing he said is, wake up. Go beyond your mind and let your heart believe. And they translated that, repent and believe the gospel. What it says in the Greek is, Let your mind be, let your consciousness be awakened beyond the mind and perceive in your heart the kingdom of God is at hand. It's right here. That said, Christ walked in the kingdom and pulled back the veil and let it spill over into the human world. And it was very costly. It was tough. He only survived 3 years in his human life doing that. Things have changed a lot. But Christ said, I do not pray, Father, that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the darkness of the present world. So it's to keep your eye single on the light, but keep your heart open to the people of this world, the people around you, and fulfill the righteous commitments that are demanded of you. Now, not everything the world demands of us is a righteous commitment, but some of it is. And so Peter came to Jesus and said, wow, should we pay taxes to Caesar? Now, that was a pretty good question coming from a fervent Jewish guy whose country and people were virtually in slavery to the Roman Empire. And Jesus said, give me a coin. And there on the coin was the image of Caesar. And he said, whose image is on this coin? Oh, Caesar. Then this belongs to him. Give him what is his. And render to God what is God's. So we can. It's a balancing act to be in this world, and I don't know about fulfilling mundane wishes, but simple things sometimes. A child that's wishing for a stuffed bear. I mean, that's a mundane wish, and there's something beautiful about ministering to the mundane needs of our fellow human beings and nurture. The world is a garden that we've been placed in to be husbandmen and women, garden keepers, to keep the garden and tend it and nurture it. But our hearts remain elevated. My paternal grandmother was a very spiritual woman. And she sort of nurtured me early in life, like Robert Reister's dad. And she said, Mike, always keep your head above the clouds and your feet on the ground. So if our eye is single on the light, our bodies, Christ said, will be filled with light. And all of our earthly needs and all of our earthly commitments will be clear and they will flow. If we're divided in our hearts between trying to please the world and trying to please the divine, then Christ said we're filled with darkness. And that's what's happening to so many people who actually have a heart that would like to be in the light, but they're all wrapped up in trying to please people. Like that one quote, I lost myself when I learned to please. So I knew a pastor, a great man of God, without telling his whole story. He reached the end of his rope. He just wanted to die. And he was going to commit suicide. He was really a great man of God. He'd built these huge churches that were filled with life and light. But he knew that he was catering to people's sensibilities, and he was compromising with the world in order to accomplish his ministry. And so when he was just totally depressed and isolated, the divine came to him and said, look, stop trying to please the people. From now on, minister to me. Please me. Serve me. And I will use you as an instrument to minister to the people and to help you fulfill those more mundane responsibilities in the world. You want to share?
Yeah, I think too, as we grow in spirituality and the heart and of service, we start to contemplate what are these mundane things and why are they mundane. And like we're deep cleaning our house right now, going through each room and rearranging and moving and getting rid of and reorganizing, restructuring. And through that process, and also it's spilling out into my life, it's like what may seem mundane, if it's coming from the heart, it's not mundane. So if I'm thinking, oh, I need this, well, why do I need this? And where is that coming from? And is it just because it's a passing fancy or a whim that I want to hold on to this, or a shiny object, you know? So by reprioritizing, we were talking with a friend on the phone a couple nights ago, and he said that they're on a new diet, and it's making him rethink. He had a snack at night. Mm-hmm. It was in accordance to his diet, but he didn't need to be eating that. He wasn't hungry, and he didn't need the food. It was just purely for pleasure because it tasted good and he wanted it. And so he said, he's really contemplating, why am I eating, when am I eating, and what's the reason behind it? And I think that's true with anything, that we might call mundane in our life. It's coming from a need that needs to be fulfilled in some way. And it's not getting fulfilled from our connection with the divine presence. It's getting fulfilled from what we would call the mundane world, or material objects, or material wants, or desires. Which is all okay, but the more that we can reflect and contemplate in our hearts, where is this coming from? What's the void that's being fulfilled? What warmness, what feelings of love or nurturance am I getting from this bowl of ice cream? It's we start to become more and more aware of ourselves, and that spills over onto different levels of our life. People just keep giving us stuff, and it's easy to hold on to it, but at some point you've got to say, I'm not using this. Let me let it go and let somebody else appreciate it that would want to be able to use it and have it and be more functional in somebody else's hands. And that spills over to all parts of our relationships, our work. So nothing is really mundane if we treat it as sacred and we understand why we're doing it, why we're wanting it, why we're engaging with it, why we're holding on to it, why we're pushing it away. There's all these levels of our being that in each of those situations that we might think are mundane are actually growing and learning experiences.
I haven't thought of this lady in a long time. Her name is Marilyn Hicks, and I don't even know if she's still alive, but a very powerful female minister. And she was talking about diet and food, and people...
Was it Marilyn Hicks?
I think so.
Okay.
Wanting to lose weight. And she said, we all have this craving inside, and we try to fill it with various things. Some people try to fill it with inappropriate sexuality. Some try to fill it with alcohol, drugs. Some people try to fill it with food. But she said there's this place inside of us that's yearning to be filled. So she said, just before you start eating, just take just a minute or two and close your eyes and look up and ask God to fill you with divine light and love. She said, then eat. And she said, that speaks to many things, because, we might give up one inappropriate addiction. Someone might give up drinking and then eat their way to 300 pounds. or jump into another addiction, a sexual addiction, or it could be TV. It could be anything that feeds the ego, which is not going to fill that empty gap inside. So it was really good advice. She was talking about dieting, but with anything where you're feeling a craving, why am I craving this? Well, because there's something in you that wants to be filled. So just take a moment and drink in. What was that song from the sing? Drink in all that white light raining down. I don't have time for the pain. I don't have room for the pain.
I think you're mixing a couple songs, aren't you?
I might be, but I don't think so.
It's
Anyway,
like Carly Simon's song.
Is it?
Haven't got time for the pain. I haven't got time for the rain.
anyway, there's this lyric about drinking in that white light that's raining down from above, which I thought was like pretty hip for back in the folk song in the 60s or something. But there you go. So Jennifer says, glad I stuck around and got quotes from Glennon Doyle and Tim Gunn, among others. Well, I'm glad you stuck around too. Tristan writes, asking for a blessing that I'm protected. Well, we agree that you are protected by the divine presence, and we will hold that intention. And I would suggest, a great, there's this one of the Psalms in the Hebrew Bible, Psalm 91. Some people call it Psalm 911. Because from the first, anyway, Psalm 91 is all about divine protection and how to open yourself to it and dwell in the safety of being under the guarding wings of God. So check out Psalm 91. It's a great meditation. And Jennifer writes, again, nothing is really mundane if we treat it as sacred.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's one of the sad side effects of Western religion. And Christianity's probably been a great contributor to this notion of this is holy and that's profane. Like Dracula and the vampires could not set foot on holy ground. So you run to a church, and if you just get behind even the walls of the graveyard around the church, they can't get you because you're on holy ground. And certain things you wouldn't want to do on holy ground, but it's okay to do it at the corner bar or someplace else. And the truth is, all ground is sacred. There is no place that is not holy and sacred. And to distinguish between sacred space and unholy space is a division that is not true. Glad you're seeing it.
I read a book that Michael had when we first got together, and there was a concept in it that I really liked. It was called a flip switch. So if you're thinking about something in a certain way, and it's not serving you, it's not coming from a place of the heart or from love, it's like a light switch. You flip the switch, you like turn it upside down, on off. It's like and that's been really helpful to me over the years. I remembered it because sometimes we get so caught up in our thinking of mundane, not mundane, sacred, unsacred, like Michael just said. And sometimes we need to see things from a different perspective. Like I run a lot of errands and, to keep the household going, and Michael's been joining me on it. And it's fun to go out and see just mundane things as sacred, as opportunities to serve, no matter where you are or what you're doing. And it's kind of a flip switch. I could sit there and complain, oh, there's so much traffic, and I don't want to go in this store again, and I'm tired. But if I flip it, then there's always an opportunity to smile at somebody or have joy or to get excited about something. Life is what we make it. And like Rob said, it's a glorious day. Every day is a glorious day. Somebody sent me a text the other day saying every day is a gift. Let's celebrate it. And it was a nice little reminder. Yes, every day is a gift. Every moment is a gift. Every opportunity to connect with somebody is a gift, even if it's a difficult connection. Because we're learning more about ourselves.
Indeed. Ekaterina writes, yes, it's good advice. I think I have an addiction to ask psychics that I consider spiritual or angel cards instead of trust. So I will use this exercise of asking God to fill me when I'm finding myself wanting to know what is going to happen.
Exactly.
And embrace mystery. Because if you need to know what's going to happen, God can show you, and you don't need a psychic or a gypsy fortune teller or tarot cards or angel cards. Although they all have their place. But the craving to know what's going to happen in the future is something to let go of, to live here and now, trusting. I mean, you can envision the future you wish for, you can pray for it, you can work toward it. And there may be, a point at certain times to want to know what's going to happen, so you avoid making improper choices. But generally, God's not in the business of showing us the future, except prophetic insight that will inspire us to live a more virtuous life.
Well, and the more that we get away from outside dependency on information coming in about our lives, our future, all of that, and the more that we connect with the divine and have trust and faith that we are held and loved and in perfect guidance and perfect union with the divine, then we do get the insights of how the future can unfold. And if we don't get those insights, we're okay with it, because we know that the divine has our back and our front and our sides and our upside down and inside out, that we are covered in all ways, always. And so to deepen in that gets us further and further away from a need to have outside input to tell us what to do or how to do it or where to go or when to go or how it's going to be. Because that person that's giving us that advice, no matter how much we may trust them or that they're spiritual, it could be the divine talking through them, but I would much rather prefer having the divine talking through me and from my heart and not from my head. Because then you get into the realm of just a lot of mind, and it can also sway us in a direction that may not be in direct alignment with what the divine presence wants for us, or what is for our highest good and best interest. So sometimes when we listen to other people's input and we follow it and it's against what our heart is saying, or we believe that more than going within and asking the divine within, what should I do? How is this going to turn out? And listen with peace and clarity, and take the time to listen, because that's where the real answers are going to come from.
Indeed. So let's close our eyes now and invite, welcome the divine presence in your heart. Deep within you dwells the fullness of the Godhead, the divine source itself. And we live and move and exist within the divine presence itself. We're inside God and God is inside us. And this presence is all love, unconditional love, acceptance, peace. All wise, all knowing. This divine presence knows everything about you, everything you've done, everything you're doing, and everything you ever will do. And yet loves you unconditionally, beyond your imagination. The divine yearns to embrace you in its arms with love and peace and healing. There is no distance or separation between you and God. This is an illusion of the mind that has been nurtured and fostered by religion, but you live in the very divine presence. You couldn't exist if there was any separation or distance at all. And this divine presence wants to draw you into the center and melt away the illusions of ego, division, separation. So receive. Welcome the grace that is pouring out to you to make your heart flower in oneness with the divine, with yourself, with others, and with all that is. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to ask. In this moment, the divine knows everything you need. Just receive. Soak it up. Breathe it in. Drink from the fountain of life springing up within you. This light shines from within your own heart to illuminate your spirit, to flood your mind with divinely inspired thoughts and feelings and plans, to melt away all the deranged ideas, thoughts, emotional programs, and replace them with divinely inspired soul food. Shines out into your physical body to heal every dis-ease. Receive the grace of healing. It knows exactly where to go in your body and your mind and your soul. Just allow it and receive it. It will shine into your relationships, setting them right, freeing you from the ones that no longer serve, drawing to you those who will cherish you and nurture you and love you. It will shine through your entire life and all your relationships, making you a lighthouse in the world. It will ripple out to others and catalyze them. Just receive the blessing of the divine presence. Imagine we're sitting in a circle together with our eyes closed, and lift up your hands with your palms facing forward, open. We invite the divine presence to pour the flowering heart blessing through all of us to each other. As it flows through you, it transforms you, it pours out to the others in the circle, and it pours back to you through them. Visualize the earth in the middle of our circle, and let us implore the divine to pour this grace through us into the hearts of all humanity, to melt away the hatred, the anger, the hurt, to fill the hearts of all of humanity with love, peace, life in grace. continually in the presence, you are protected. Now you can relax and rest your hands in your lap somewhere and open your eyes when you're ready. Begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. Just keep gazing at least one of our eyes as the light meditation begins. In this meditation, Suzanne and I are flooded with oceans of love, grace and light for you. It pours through us, through every fiber of our being, especially through our eyes, the windows of the sun. There's nothing to do, just keep looking at least one of our eyes and relax. And the light streams out of our eyes, into your eyes, through your eyes into your heart of hearts, causing the light of the divine presence, the divine love, to shine brighter, brighter, brighter within you. close your eyes now. Meditate with us a few more minutes as the grace settles within you. Now keep meditating as long as it feels nice to you, or lie down nearby in Shavasana. That's to lie on your back comfortably, with your eyes closed and your arms loosely at your sides, with your palms open, turned upward, and just relax and dissolve in gratitude in the presence. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine within you, and we bow to you. Namaste.